Okay, it is April 28th of 2024. I have a couple things I want to cover in this journal entry, but I want to make it quick. So, first one, I think I finally found the first person I'm going to be able to actually manipulate and use. See, originally I wanted to use Charlie because she was like a blank slate, like she didn't know anything about the world. Everything that you would tell her, she took it as gospel. So something like that I could use really, really easily and really kind of twist. But unfortunately, she is usually awake and around the city when I am tired and passed out. And I don't know what it is. I can't seem to find myself to the ability to wake up when she's around, and I feel bad because she would have made a great member of my flock. But I think I just found the next best thing. A couple days ago, I ended up meeting this lovely young lady. Her name is Izzy Abbott. You see, she came here from the Netherlands. She had a broken family back home. She's been living on her own since she was 15, and she is just down on herself. She came here attempting to find happiness, even just a semblance of happiness. She's made a couple of Italian friends. But this is the interesting part that I just found out on this walk with Bear that I had. She is dating Danny O'Shea. That is Ranger Daniel O'Shea. Oh. Danny. Do you remember when we had our first talk? And I told you if you ever had any sort of signs, any sort of anything that this cult stuff was actually creeping back up, just to grab whoever you thought it was and shoot them in the back of the fucking head. Because these cults have a way of digging their talons, digging their claws right into your psyche, right into your soul, and destroying you. Well, Danny, you had your warning. But the main thing that I wanted to talk about today is Bear. So Bear obviously is someone that I was talking to. Actually, I talked to him in the hospital. Officer Keller brought him around when she talked to me the first or second time. I think it was the second time. He's the kind of person who seems very kind of shy, very kind of like reserved. Although, I mean, he comes from Europe as well, so from Austria. Yeah, he comes from Austria. So I know that there's probably a bit of a language barrier there, but he's one of those ones who just seems a bit naive, but he tries. It's like he's a cadet right now with the Los Angeles Police Department. I asked him to go for a hike, and this time I made sure it's just going to be me and him, because last time I tried to do this social kind of call so I could learn about him, he brought Keller with him. And Keller is a whole beast of her own, and we're going to get into that in a second. So he tells me he has this awesome little hiking spot, this nice little trail up on Mount Gordo. So we kind of go back there, and we're just kind of shooting the shit, talking a little bit here and there. I wanted to get to know if he had anyone, close to him, any, girlfriend, boyfriend, what have you. And so I asked him about how the dating life is, and he's like, you know what? Not really looking for it here. There's nothing here. It's like I was actively dating back home in Austria, and that was pretty much it. He didn't really circle too much. He said he works too much. There's not much time to date in the city. So I was like, okay, no, that's fair. So then I asked him about Keller, because I haven't seen Keller in a while, and the last time I saw her, she kind of tore a strip off me. And that's why I started thinking, I'm like, you know what? I need a plan. I need something to make Keller take a pause, or make Keller just kind of, to really kind of make Keller just kind of take a second look at me, like, oh, maybe I'm seeing him in a different light. Everyone has a weakness. I'm sure I even have a weakness I just can't see, because she is so strong-willed, so strong-headed. But then I thought about it. I'm like, you know what? I know exactly what I'm going to do. See, Keller is so strong-willed, and she's so just like aggressive. And when she tore a strip off me the last time we talked, I was like, ooh, that's exciting. But I think what I'm going to do is next time I see her is I'm going to be like, hey, Keller, can we talk? And, go off somewhere quiet so we can go and have a little discussion. I'll be like, hey, I just want to talk about the last time we met up at Parsons. You were so aggressive and you were so just on point, and like you were just not taking shit from anyone. I just want to say, you know what? I like that. I actually found that very attractive. Would you like to go out for a drink? And you see, and I think that's going to put her into a stump. I think that's going to make her go like, oh God, what the fuck? Am I reading this guy wrong? Because she seems like she's like looking at me, like her eyes are locked on me. It's not like she's looking at a person. It's like she's looking at a puzzle. So I need to find a way to diffuse her. And I think by faking being attracted to her will be that thing that I can do. Anyway, so we talked about Keller really quick, nothing too much. And then I brought up Dr. Green. Because you see, originally with Dr. Green, I was going to use her as someone I could tell people to go talk to. Like, no, listen, go talk to Dr. Green. I've been talking to her all the time. She knows what I'm really like, this and that, blah, blah, blah. But you see, Dr. Green abandoned me. If I was just some normal kind of person who didn't really come to the city with a purpose, that would have happened. I would have been probably destroyed. Like, we had one appointment, then she said that she got into or her daughter used her phone and said that she got into a car accident, was going to be in the ICU. But then later that day that we were supposed to have our appointment, she was at the Legion Square little restaurant place. What was that fucking called? The Cabaret. Advertising for the Cabaret. I'm like, what the fuck? Anyways, a couple days later, I let it go by. I see her on duty on the app on the phone. And so I'm sitting there, I'm like, hey, glad you're out of the ICU. Let me know when you're ready for the next appointment. And nothing. She's ghosted me. So instead of using her as someone that people can go to verify my character, I'm going to use her. I'm going to frame her. If anyone dies during any of the trials, I am going to put it on her. I'm using a burner phone. And on that phone is where I'm going to be texting all these members of my potential flock. And so I'm going to put up a plan. I'm going to grab some evidence for when I do trials too. I'm going to spread it around the crime scene. That way, when push comes to shove and the time is right, I can point the police in her direction and she will take the fall for me. Dr. Green. You're going to wish that you would have just kept on with the sessions. Anyways, Bear also enjoys hunting. He says that the thing he enjoys most is the hunt. And he kept sitting there and the thing with Bear with that day is it felt like he was looking at me. Not like he was there trying to talk to me like a friend. Like he was like looking at me, like trying to figure me out with things. He kept talking about, oh, who's in your circle? Oh, hey, who's this? Who's that? Like I would give him general information about people I was with, but I'd never really give names. And then he was really kind of pushing, not too much, but every now and then he'd bring it up every few minutes. So I finally went like, okay, I'm going to give him one, Cassidy. And I was telling him how Cassidy had went to the job fair for the police department and he thundered in. Like he told me that as soon as they started asking questions, he was just like, oh fuck, and like he told me, he's like, I feel like I bombed that thing. But the great thing about Cass, met up with I think it was the head of the DOC, and now him and her had a really good conversation. It's just kind of like a lot of really good back and forth. So it looks like I might have an in with the DOC, and then if he's in there, I might be able to actually get some other people on side as well. Some people I can just dig my claws into a little bit. Just so if fingers ever get pointed at me, I can have other people come into my defense for me.